Today I'm going to show you how to solve some equations. They are m is equal to p times q, x1 is equal to a times the inverse of a, x2 is equal to inverse of a times a, y1 is equal to a times b, y2 is equal to the inverse of a times y1, and finally y3 is equal to y2 minus b. So the first thing I did was I created my matrices, P, Q, A, and B. After I came down and outside of my first main method, I created these two methods that are going to multiply and subtract my matrices. So after I came up, and for the first equation, m is equal to p times q, I created another array. I called it matrix C, and I set it equal to the product of p and q. And I called in my multiplication method to multiply them, and then these two for loops, and then this print statement where you print out the answer with the extra space, and then this extra line. For the second equation, x1 is equal to a times the inverse of a. I created another array and named it x and set it to, and then after that I called in my matrix class and then called in the inverse method and got the inverse of the matrix of A, and then multiplied it by just the normal matrix of A. And then these two for loops, and then you want to write the print statement and print out the answer with the space and the extra line. And x2 is equal to the inverse of A times A is the same as before. You just want to call in your the matrix class and the method before you multiply it. Just switch it. And then for y1 is equal to a times b, you create an array, name it y, and set it equal to the product of a and b, and then the two for loops, and then you print out the answer with the space and the extra line. For y2 is equal to inverse of a times y1, create double yy, and you call in your mat class and then your inverse method, and you get the inverse of a, and then you multiply it by y, calling in your multiplication method, and then the two for loops, and then you print out your answer. And then finally, for y3 is equal to y2 minus b, you create double y and set it equal to y2, which is y minus b, and you call in your subtraction method. And again, write the two for loops, and then you print out your answer with the space and the extra line. And then finally, if for any reason anything goes wrong throughout the whole code, I made this try and catch. So if anything happens, a throwable, which is an error or an exception, it will catch either of them, and if something goes wrong, it will print out, oops, something went wrong. So let's run it and see if we got our answers. And yeah, it worked.